In this session, we are going to be making this patterned tea towel. Now we are going to make a particular pattern with some hearts on this tea towel. However, you can look at our video on pattern painting and you can find lots of ideas of different kinds of patterns you can use on your towel. We're also giving you an example of how to apply paint to fabric, and again you can use any other fabric that you want to use. You can apply a pattern to a bag or fabric that you make clothing out of, any such thing. Let's get started. In order to make this craft, we're going to need a piece of fabric or a finished tea towel. If your towel isn't finished, then you can just use a piece of fabric, and we are going to put a fringe on the outside, and I'll show you how to do that. Now when you're choosing your fabric, it's good to choose a fabric that has a bit of cotton in it. That's going to help your paint hold better. In addition to your fabric, we are going to use a roll to create our pattern. Of course, we are going to use paint, and this is acrylic paint, tempera paint, and so on. Those are going to wash out of your fabric if you use those, so you want to use something like acrylic paint, and of course our paint brushes. Let's get started. Because we're using a piece of fabric and the ends are not stitched in as you would with a tea towel, a finished tea towel, what I'm going to do is I'm going to find those strings and I'm going to start pulling the strings. You do have to pull them one by one, otherwise it becomes difficult at the bottom. I'm going to find those strings and I'm going to start pulling the strings out on the end. And if I pull enough strings out, it's going to create a fringe. And what that's going to do is it's going to help secure my tea towel, because once the fringe is there, it's going to be very difficult for it to fray. So I am doing the fraying all by myself by pulling out these strings. Okay, and we have finished fringing around our tea towel. The next thing we're going to do is that we're going to apply our pattern. We're going to use some paint and we're going to create our pattern, which is a heart pattern, with this paper roll. What we're going to do is that we're going to bend the paper roll at one area like this. Okay, so it's almost like you're bending along the length of the paper roll until you come to something like so. Okay, and you're going to see that our heart pattern is formed right there. Okay, I'm going to just snip this little piece that's sticking up because it's going to end up on our pattern and we don't want it there. And now we can start. Let's start with blue. I'm going to open my bottle cap. I'm going to get a paintbrush for the blue paint. I'm going to put a bit of paint in my bottle cap and water. And this is what we do. We're going to apply paint. There's another piece in there that needs snipping. Hope you can see that. Okay. We're going to apply paint onto our pattern. Now we are not applying, you're not putting the pattern into paint, you're just taking your brush and applying paint to the end of your pattern. Okay. And once you've done that, you can go ahead and stamp your pattern on your tea towel. You want to give it a firm stamp, and we're up again. Now if you want to, you can take your brush and paint in the lines so you get a solid color. And I think I'm finished. I'm very happy with my project. Remember, you can follow us on Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, Twitter, and you can subscribe to our YouTube channel for some more fun projects.